It's always something. Always something. What's up, y'all? Let me see. 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 What is going on? Hey. Oh, here we go. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Nosy Bystanders live show. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. Let's get into this tea already, because y'all, I'm sorry. I would have got on sooner, but I was eating a pork chop. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I was eating this chop over here, sucking my teeth. Like, I wonder what they doing in the chat. It's like, oh, what they talking about? Or the tea at? Because I was eating these pork chops like, honey, like it was my job, child. I'm like, I was tearing that pork chop up. Tearing it up. I was literally tearing it up. So I want to get right into the story. So we got three big, medium-sized, decent stories that I wanted to discuss today. But first, I have to check something. Let me check something. I always got to check my picture quality. Medium-sized, decent stories that I wanted to. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Y'all know I'm extra slow today. Okay, perfect. Okay. So who's all in the chat before we get to this ghetto mess? Let me see who's in the chat. Sorry, y'all, got pork chops in my nails. Who all up in here? What's up, Keisha? What's up, Desiree? I always want to call you Desires. What's up, Dina the Taurus? Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, where's the tea? Oh, that's me. Hello, Nosy Bystander TV. Hello, Veronica. Is it Capria 30? I don't think I've ever seen you here. Welcome. What's up, YNV? YNV said, hey, Chief. Hey, Nosy Cousins. I'm early. What's up? We got Shay. Hey, Shay. How you doing? Everybody early today. Veronica said, my bad. I don't know what you did, Veronica, but don't get got. Courtney said, hey, y'all. Nessa. Hi. Hello. Hello, Kemi on the go. Hello, Binky. Hello, AC. Hello, is it Zariah? Hello, Zariah. How you doing? I hope I said that right. We had Chelsea in the corner. Just Chelsea's corner. What's up, Shan Will? Hello, R. Thomas. We got Brenda. What's up, Brenda? Brenda gonna tell you how to smash the like button, so y'all might as well just let her tell you. Okay, just let her tell you. Let me get through a few more. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Yvette. Hello, unapologetically Mimi. Tongue twister there. Tiana Cunningham. Hello, Tiana. She said, I'm here. Meek Speech Chat says, right on time. Smash the like button when you get in here. It's 140 in the building. I already know it's going to be a live show. I ain't been on for 4 days. I know y'all itching for the tea. And let me say this. Let me preface this by saying, I know a lot of you have reached out to me while I was out for 4 days. Telling me what was going on. Like, I appreciate that. So thanks for keeping me in the know. Second thing I want to say is I appreciate y'all using your deductive reasoning to realize half of these stories that you see published by these, and I'm going to slander them every time. Every time. And by slander, I mean I'm just gonna talk my mess. But every time, I'm always gonna stay on these messy, sloppy, grotesque bloggers. Cause child, I added this button. I really like it, child. I'm always gonna stay on their neck because they are messy. They're messy. They're half done, half convoluted stories. Stories never make any sense. They tell you half stories, never finish it. No one ever investigates it. And then they investigate a story once every blue moon and it's crap because other bloggers have already done the work for them. So they get to just come back together and scoop up all the pieces. It's a mess out here. It's a mess. Bloggers getting sued left and right. I mean, like, do you know how easy it is? And this is just me going on a tangent, and we're gonna get right into Bishop Knockout. Okay, so that's his nickname, Bishop Knockout. So it's just like it's a jungle out here, and the reason why the Nosy Bystanders is gonna always remain on top is because, well, one, we're gonna use scientific method to dissect celebrity tea. It's a little bit slower than most of you like, but fuck it. We're going to do it right. Second, we're not going to get sued. We don't got the money to get sued. All of our money is wrapped up in our network. So we don't got time to get sued. Okay. So we're going to take our time on our stories. We're not going to say anything salacious, and anything we have to say can and will be used against us in court. So we're going to mind our P's and Q's. Hello, Phyllis. Hello, y'all. Wink Badu says, "Your boo." He is. I do like Bishop. I do like the Bishop. Yeah, some of y'all might not like it, but let's just get right into this story. So I'm going to zoom the screen in a little bit bigger so you guys can see it, so you can just follow along, especially if you're watching on your televisions. This article is brought to you by the Daily News, not the New York Daily News, just the Daily News. And the article is titled, "A Woman Criminally Charged for Clash with Brooklyn Bishop Lamar Whitehead During Church Service." Now, you've already seen the video. I obviously can't share the video with you here. It's graphic in nature, and I will get demonetized for it, so I won't be showing you the video. You've all seen the video. They do have some still shots in here that we will see, but let's just get right into it. Now, I appreciate the Daily News for one reason and one reason only. If you ever check out articles there, but you're a little hard of reading, right? If you have, just really bad glasses, really bad eyes, they transcribe the entire article for you so you can just listen to it. So it starts off with a woman who confronted Bishop Whitehead in the middle of a sermon has been charged, police said Monday. Her name is Tarisha Howard, I hope I'm saying that right, is charged with trespassing and disrupting religious services after the Sunday clash that erupted after Whitehead told her to stop videotaping the service, police said. Howard, who was 47, was awaiting arraignment in Brooklyn Criminal Court on Monday. If you guys don't know, we actually pulled that record up for you, and I'll share my screen with you. Give me one moment, okay? I'm so lazy. I'd be forgetting how to do this. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm not lazy. I just be forgetting. Okay. So we went ahead and pulled her record because I wasn't sure if this was real or not. And I was just like, huh. Now, I just want to preface this by saying this is a legal court document, okay? What this is not doxing, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. If this woman did not want her business on the internet, she shouldn't have been over at somebody's church acting a fool. So there it is. That's the you can pull it up yourself. It's free of charge. Brooklyn, don't give no F's, okay? Brooklyn don't give no nothing, okay? So this is all of her stuff. Leave that woman alone. But you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? So now everybody's pulling up your arraignment papers because you thought it was funny and cute to go and I don't know what she was going to do. I'm gonna just trying to lean into the comments for you guys on this one because hello, she's brown like me. I'm gonna lean into you guys into the comments because it's just very weird. This is from Speak from the Purple Couch says he told her to come up. You mean he told her to come up to the pulpit, or you think he told her to come to the church? Clarify that for us. Thank you. This is from YV says violence. I'm sorry, this is from Veronica. Violence isn't the answer. Sure ain't. Sure ain't. Tarnisha says, wait, not the choke, not the chokey. Yes, honey, the chokey got arrested for criminal. So I'll share the other screen. Give me a second for the articles. We'll flip flop back and forth to the article. Okay. So I'm gonna pull it up. Yes, so the chokey got arrested. Y'all be cracking me up in the comments. I can't with y'all right now. I legit can't. This is Milrissa. Hello, Milrissa. I've never seen you here before. Welcome. On Nosy Bystanders Live, where we just cut up and kiki. This is from Nisa. Hold on, Nisa. Nisa says he told her to come to the pulpit. Interesting. Walking Light says she's writing a book and was getting material. Walking Light, I hope you're joking. Child, I hope you joking. Are you joking? Are you serious? Are you being serious? Are you being serious? Because that can't be true. She made a video. She did. Her video is, and actually, I think I might be able to find it. If you guys give me 2 seconds, I will check TikTok. Hold on one moment. And I'll see if I can find it. I forget what her name is. See if I can find it. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think I found the video. Give me 2 seconds. Let me share my screen with you. This is the only video that I seen Shay. What's up, Shay? That I think that she has made. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna share my screen. And just let me know if you guys can see this and hear it, I suppose. This is the only video I know of. I don't know who put that horrible music over it.
He hit a woman. Yeah. He hit a lady in his church today. He's going to jail. No, the bishop, the state bishop. Yeah, he hit her.
Why did she put this horrible music track over it? It sounds terrible.
I don't know.
You showed me love when
I saw that she did an interview with Larry Reed. Unfortunately, I can't play it because of copyright infringement, but I did see that.
You help me fall when
Come on up. Come preach. You will come preach. Come on up here. Come on up here.
I think that he called her up to the pulpit. So here's my assessment of what he's stating, and this is just what I'm assessing. I think he called her up to the pulpit because according to the police, I have to go according to the police report. Okay. So again, we got to go based off of what we know, not the supposition that we're trying to make. So based off the police report, it seems as though she was recording his sermon. He had asked her to stop several times. This is according to the police report. He had asked her to stop several times. And then it sounded like she was speaking in tongues when she was headed toward the pulpit because she wasn't directly toward him. She was kind of like, it was like her profile, and she was just kind of like cascading across the pulpit. So I think he called her up in an antagonizing fashion, right? Like, if you're not going to stop recording, then come to the pulpit. And she does. And then that's when the attack ensues, right? So granted, it's his property. If he doesn't want you to record his sermons, you're not going to just record his sermons in the name of the Lord. Like, it's about respect. So it's like if you're in somebody's home and they say, hey, dude, can you take your shoes off? And then you fight them. Just take your shoes off or get out of their house. So I'm not saying that I agree. I don't agree with putting your hands on a woman at all. That I totally don't agree with. But at the same time, though, we have to look at the context of it. In the beginning, she should have never been there to begin with. She should have never been there to begin with. Okay. That's just my assessment. I don't think she should have been there to begin with. What are you doing there? If you're not there to listen to the Spirit of the Lord or to look at our good, fine pastor right here, then what are you doing? You know what I mean? Then what are you doing? Let me get some of your comments. Hold on 1 second. Simone has arrived. Roll out the carpet. Hello, Simone. Dr. Clemens says she wasn't recording. It was another lady. I heard that there was 2 people who came together. Is that true? Heather Henderson says the woman with her was the one recording. She challenged his sermon. Ooh, that's bizarre. Why would you go to someone's church to challenge their sermon? That's unusual. Shay Jackson, what's up, Shay, says, I can't stand this man. I hope he gets canceled. Y'all, cut him a break. Don't cut him a break on putting his hands on a woman. He gets no breaks for that. Just to be clear. This is from Sandy. Hello, Sandy Jones. Sandy says she was with the lady who was recording. Got you. Now, why was she? What's up, Blaze 106.91? How you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute, girl. How you been? Great profile pic. This is our radio DJ. She's not a real DJ. We just call her one. Miss Harper says she wasn't recording. Another lady was with the one of the members snatched her phone. She was there to get content for a book, to write a book. Does anybody know? Now, thank you very much for that, Miss Harper. Ciao. Does anybody know what book is she writing? About preachers or about sermons? He reaches out. Child, I'm not reaching. I just don't want to hate this man. I am reaching. I'm reaching. You haven't researched this? It's not that I didn't research it. This story is so too convoluted for me to care about. Does that make sense? Like, it's not worth the investigative work that I would put into something else. Do you get it? Like, to me, it's like a horse and pony clown show. So that's what it is. It's a horse and pony clown show. Now, because I'm reading everything in the chat, I don't know if everything you guys are saying is conflicting or if the story is just not well developed, right? So let me just try to sparse it together the best way I can. The pastor on video shows that she was the one recording. Got you. Thank you. Okay, so she was the one, the friend was the one recording. Thank you for clarifying that, Heather. So let me just try to sparse this together. So these two women attend his church. Doesn't seem like they're members of his church. They're going to his church to get some footage for a book that she's writing. Okay. One of the ladies is recording. According to the police report, the pastor says, please stop recording. Then he calls them up to the altar. One shows up to the altar and then he attacks her. Now, that part, bad, not good. But the part that I find a bit confusing is why are they recording and what book? That's to me, I feel like that's the most interesting part. Like, okay, so what were you doing there, right? Is no one else curious? We can't just make flat out statements like, oh, she was there to record for a book. Slow your roll. What book? What is the book about? Does it require her to go to all the neighboring churches and record? Or is it because it's his church? You see what I mean? Does that make sense? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down or no? Or do I got to say it again, huh? Let me get some of your comments. This is from Speaking from the Purple Couch says, she's a prophetess. And when he called her up, she started speaking in tongues. He was speaking in tongues and he got mad at her and he got mad after he told her to come up. That's interesting because that's what I did catch. Now, thank you. I caught that she was speaking in tongues because I couldn't understand what she was saying. And I'm like, is she Creole? Or is she speaking another language no, she did. So she sounded like she was speaking in tongues. Got you. Now, was her friend recording her? I want to know. Now I'm a little bit more interested in this story, right? So is she the one who was speaking in tongues? I'm sorry, I feel like I'm not reading all of your comments. The one who was speaking in tongues, is she the one who's the prophetess who goes to random churches to basically call out pastors using the Holy Spirit? And I know that's going to sound crazy, but just follow me here, right? You know how like your spirit will tell you, oh, there's something not right about that person, but you don't really hone in on it. And then you have your prophets who hone in on that Holy Spirit. And they're like, I know for a fact that's a bad person. And I can call them out using the Spirit. If you're not churchy, you're not going to know what this means. Okay. So was that the premise of why they arrived? Because she says to her friend, I got a bad feeling about this pastor. I'm a prophetess. I'm going to go speak in tongues and call him out. Sure enough, he reacts and it basically tells her everything she needs to know about that pastor. Now that discernment, correct? Yes, discernment. Okay, I got you. Now I got you. Okay, so it's her discernment factor that brought her to the church, and she was probably filming it for a book about how she uses her discernment or her Holy Spirit to show that these pastors are nothing but a bunch of frauds. Interesting. Brianna said, hit that like button. Stop being ignorant. She didn't say the ignorant part. I did. Smash that like button. Thank you. Thank you, Brianna. This is from Speaking from the Couch. Again, you're giving us all the robust content that we're looking for. It says, yes, she was the one and she just left compelled to do that. That is not why they arrived. The book was about charismatic churches and the impact of African-American people. Got you. Now, child, let's get into the details of this because this makes total sense. Okay, it's starting to capitulate. It's starting to make sense to me. And I'm getting it now. Okay, so I'm play devil's advocate. Okay, I'm play devil's advocate. I'm going to play devil's advocate. You guys are not going to like it, but one of us has to do it. So I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I don't know at what point of time where he caught one of them recording and he asked them to stop and they didn't. So I don't know when that occurred. I don't know if she was just recording her friend. And so how the pastor saw it and he's like, I don't like that. Stop recording. I I don't know at what stage that occurred at. I don't know. And I'll tell you the reason as to why she was charged and the pastor wasn't. She was charged because she was on his property. That's why. So don't say, oh, she was charged because he's famous in the neighborhood and the cops sided with him. No, they sided with the property owner because police's duty is to protect property, not you. Okay. So their duty is to protect property. And if someone is infringing on your right to your property, they have to act accordingly. So if you're wondering, why did she get arrested? Because they were protecting property and the pastor owns the property. So there. But it doesn't make it right. Now, I could see why she would do it, but that is very dangerous because one, now you got a criminal trespassing on your record. Who wants that at 47? That woman probably lived her entire life crime free. You understand what I mean? She probably lived her entire life crime free. And now here she go following her discernment. And now it's brought her a criminal charge, even though it's a misdemeanor criminal trespassing. Who cares? It's her name. And she should be able to walk around, without a criminal record. At the same time, nothing excuses the pastor putting his hands on her. I don't care if she was recording anything. I don't care if she was in there recording his baby. You don't put your hands on somebody unless they warrant it. If you told her to get out, then there should be no reason that you called her to the altar at all. For what apparent reason? You called her to the altar because your Holy Spirit sensed what she was doing, or whatever spirit you got carrying around with you, pastor, was experiencing what she was doing, and you didn't like that, and you felt threatened by her discernment over yours because it makes you look foolish because she's speaking in tongues, yet he was not. I don't know if you caught that. He was attempting to speak in tongues, and he wasn't. Or was I the only one who caught that? Because I feel like I'm not the only one who caught that. When I heard her speaking, I could not understand what she was saying, but I felt in my core she's speaking in tongues. I felt like she was talking to a spirit, but it wasn't anything that I could register. When Bishop Whitehead started talking in tongues, I was like, that's not how you speak in tongues. What she was doing was speaking in tongues. Now, I think it's very dangerous. Don't go to nobody's churches acting a fool because, child, they're going to square up on you and it's not going to be pretty. But I think in my full assessment after reading your comments and this, that, and the third, I think that she threatened him on a different spiritual level that maybe a lot of us are not going to understand. She definitely made him feel unjust, like she was calling him out. So whatever footage her friend got on that camera, honey, I'm sure it's going to paint a pretty picture. Not his tongue. Yes, they did, honey. They did not sound, I don't know. They just didn't sound right. This is from Sandy. Sandy said she attends the church of the mentor of one of the vloggers who also on the bishop's live, he had a video of the girl that was the victim outside calling one of the vloggers on FaceTime. Who's the vlogger? Why is he not arrested though? Because he was on his property. That's why making love and mama. Makeup love and mama. I thought your name says making love. Because he was on his property. So it's just criminal trespassing, at that point. Anytime he's defending himself on his property. I'm just telling you the law. I'm not telling you it's right. I just want to make that abundantly clear. I'm just telling you how the law is applied. If you are in your home and even though you're having a family get together and you punched your granny, if your granny don't live there, your granny's going to jail. You know what I mean? Because again, the law is to protect you on your property, no one else. So you can really act buck wild when it comes to that because it's considered a stand your ground law. So yeah, no, she didn't. Y'all lying. He did get arrested, but he got released. He did get arrested, but he got released because again, criminal trespassing. Wow. I saw that. At first, I thought he said Larry Reed because he had tagged Larry Reed in that live stream. But I guess King Jive. Now, let me ask you guys this, okay? So I'm going to put up a different banner. I want you to tell me your thoughts. Who do you think she was sent by someone, or do you think that she was there on her own volition to get into the spirit. I would absolutely love to hear from you. There's no poll. Just say, yes, I think she was there for her own, or she was there for herself, or type in the person who you think sent her. Do you think she was there because someone sent her? Rose Allen says he hadn't to see the live. She didn't call him. Both. Not the spirit. This is from Ditch Doctor. Hey, Ditch Doctor says that's a banquet hall he uses as a church on Sundays. Apparently he get the church built. That's his story, honey. He's sticking to it. Glenda Fix. I like your last name, Fix. Glenda Fix says no, on her own. She was sent by someone. All right, him. I don't know. I'm torn. I see both. I do too, April. I actually do too. I'm just going based off what you guys have telling me. I want to divest into this story a little bit more. Maybe I should. Maybe there's something to it. Dig this lady up. Interesting. Interesting to say the least. He probably leases it. So he may not own it, but he probably leases it, which gives him dominion over his property, right? So we're going based off that. If you've looked it up, you were unable to find any property in his name, then it's more than likely he's a leasee and he's got dominion. That's my best guess for you. Okay. That's my best guess for you. Philly's DT. I feel like we spent a lot of time on that story and it grosses me out. Shout out to Larry Whitehead. Stop putting your hands on women. And shout out to that lady, Tarisha Howard. We're going to keep some tabs on you because we don't really know too much about you. We'll keep tabs on you. We'll keep some tabs on you. We'll keep some tabs on you. Speaking of Michelle Lau, let's get to the next story because this story, honey, is... The reason why we're talking about this story is because y'all keep calling me about it and more people keep coming to divest. Now, obviously, the people who give us a call, you know, our phone numbers on our website and it's on our Facebook, it's on our YouTube. We have a phone, a tip line. You can call it anytime. It's anonymous. We don't release that. We just get your tip and we follow the story. So you don't ever have to, and I just want to make that abundantly clear. You guys don't ever have to worry about if you shared a tip with me that it's going to get leaked. I ain't never leaked nobody's tip. I ain't gonna start today. Okay. That's not really my stilo, as they used to say in the 90s. And it's really not my style. So I'm not in the business of putting your business out there because I'm not messy. If you have a tip that could lead me to the right tip, I'm going to take that tip to lead to that tip. And we'll leave you as the anonymous tip in the back. That's how you're supposed to do it. We don't record conversations and we don't log phone numbers if you ask us not to. That's it. If you say, hey, delete this number out of your caller ID, because we got an old school phone system. Delete this number out of your caller ID once this call is complete. It's deleted. It's just that simple. So so you guys don't have to worry about, oh gosh, she's gonna tell everyone it was me. We don't do that. There's no fun in burning our bridges. So I want to get to this comment here by Rico Montreal Brown. Nice name there. It says Michelle Loud Powell has told us that Monet said, I'm sure you mean like said, that she wants to testify against Cora. You just dropping everybody's government name, huh? Cora Coleman. But it was a very setup. It was a setup from the very beginning. I think that's what you meant. It was a setup from the very beginning. Hello, R. Virgil. How you doing? Thumbs up. Thank you very much. And smash that like button, you guys. I don't know how many likes are in the building, but I can tell you, if people keep saying smash that like button, some of y'all Negroes have not smashed it. Okay. So child, let's get into this story. So I want to first preface this by saying this was an anonymous tip. I'm going to share with you the tip, not the tipster. And then we're just going to go from there because then I got some other information sent to me and I just thought it was kind of bizarre. Now, again, all of this is alleged. It's all alleged, but I'm very much inclined to believe that. I'm very much inclined to believe this because it's very weird. It's very bizarre. It's very weird. It's very bizarre. And it gives a little bit of insight about what it is Cora potentially what's the word I'm looking for? Potentially a motive, I guess. So the tip came in a couple of weeks ago. Someone had shared that they had been very close friends with Cora between 2018 to 2021, so relatively soon. And then their relationship had dissolved. I'm not gonna say how the relationship dissolved. It just dissolved. This person was very close to Cora. Text calls, FaceTimes, Marco Polos, which I find very interesting. So according to this person, Cora used Marco Polo app to send her spiritual family, because she's the mother and Brandon Coleman is the father, the spiritual family messages. That's not alleged, that's real. The messages became increasingly more bizarre, and that's the word I'm going to use because any other term I just wouldn't even know how to. So the text messages came a little bit more bizarre when it seemed as though allegedly Cora was singling out specific people who are part of the spiritual family, and it seemed like it would just become this heavy instance of nonstop Marco Polo messages. Now I'm assuming she likes to use Cora Jakes, assuming she likes to use Marco Polo because it's encrypted and the messages disappear. It's disgusting. The person shared that Cora would increasingly send her very inappropriate, not the messages, but the imagery of the messages, right? So Marco Polo is an app where you are to send very short video messages as though you're FaceTiming someone. This person alleges, and it's just disgusting. This person alleges that it's really disgusting, that Cora Jakes would send Marco Polos in the shower while giving a spiritual message. Talk about perverted, allegedly. And sometimes in the tub. Completely blown away by that. What it shows is a pattern of pushing the envelope, allegedly, until you can get away, till you can see what you can get away with. It makes people uncomfortable. This person also shared that they struggle with their sexuality and their personal sexual identity, right? And they believe that Cora was preying on that. Wild. So while I continued to have this conversation with this individual, obviously this anonymous tipster, they stated that on a specific night, sometime in 2021, I'm sorry. Sometime in early 2021, Cora had shared with them that she allegedly was having a current ongoing sexual relationship with her best friend, Monet Cullens. And that Cora allegedly was not entirely sure if her marriage would survive it. Allegedly. That's their conversation. So I'm just sharing it, the alleged conversation. Now, what I find very, very, very much interesting is the fact that Cora does have this long-term friendship, with a woman by the name of Monet. So I had to do a little bit of digging into Monet, and with the help of another nosy bystander who always remains anonymous, she let me in on a doozy about this. Well, two, actually, I take that back. Actually, two nosy bystanders who are always giving me a call about Monet and Cora. Now, these people had very close relationships with them that dissolved, and but they had known Cora well over 10, 15, 20 years. So, honey, the tea just pours out. So, according to these two senior nosy bystanders, if you ask me, these two senior nosy bystanders, one I had to catch that, or I was going to say their name. So I had to catch myself. I had to catch myself because I was about to say this person's name. So this person had, and I can't tell you, obviously I can't tell you this bit of information, but just know that this person was very entrenched into the lives of Cora and Monet, and at some point in their friendship had actually allowed Monet to stay with them. Okay. But due to whatever, friends, you know how friendships are, they dissolve, they end up kicking this person out. So when I did a little bit of, just a tiny bit of digging, I had to dig. I'm like, well, I'm sure Cora and Monet's relationship has tracked back. Which I don't care about when it began. I just care about like how robust it is. Now, remember, the person who gave me that anonymous tip about their alleged sexual relationship is not the first person. It's scary, which is not the first person, actually. It's probably, if I had to put it on a list, probably the 20th call I've gotten that Cora has confessed to this person at some point in their lives that allegedly she's having, not had, she is having a current alleged sexual relationship with Monet, and that'd be too much for her to give up. I guess, I don't know. That's not my business, but it does play into the part of Cora's current state, right? Like her current marriage and how that's playing out. You know what I mean? The fact that Cora has asked the prosecutors that she wants Brandon to have 40 years, right? Lock him away real tight, huh? I mean, that's just a request. It's not like he's going to get it. He's obviously going to go to trial, but that's a really tight request to ask for, as though you just wanted to completely dissolve this marriage. Now, it's been alleged that this is made up and that this is Cora's doing, obviously allegedly, and she's setting Brandon up for the whoop-de-whoop because she wants to maintain her sexual relationship with Monet. I guess she wouldn't be the only LGBTQAI Jakes member, including Jermaine and allegedly Jamar. So I guess she wouldn't be the only one, but you know, in a Christian household, it's frowned upon. Let me get some of y'all comments. I know y'all over here sweating. Heather said, Michelle said that too. Shonef did. Just bougie. What's up? Says, wait, that's what she asked for? That is what, I don't know if you guys know that or not. Oh, snap. Well, breaking news. That's what she asked the prosecutors for. Cora Jakes asked the prosecutors to give Brandon, or, you know, because she's the mother of the victim. What sentence do you think is admissible? If we can't go to court and we want to plead out, Cora asked for 40 years. 40. Obviously, Brandon declined that. He seems like he's going to go to trial. Now, I don't know what the whole truth is behind the story. That's why I've never given you guys my personal take on it. All I do is just tell the story. It's not my duty to tell you how I feel about it. The moment you start including your emotions in these stories, they get all wackadoo and convoluted. So I don't really know where I sit because, again, I don't have all the evidence. I'll be there with you watching the trial play out because I'm sure Brandon's going to go to trial. So if he does, I'm gonna be right there watching it with y'all because I don't know nothing, honey. I don't know nothing. Now, when I say I don't know nothing, I don't know the full details of the case because I don't have access to those documents. I just have what I have, and I have what I was given. That's it. You know what I mean? So I have what I have, and I have what I was given. So I don't got all the pieces. You know what I mean? Wink Badu says, "Where's the evidence to have him locked up like this?" I don't know. I don't got the evidence. This from Wink Badu says, she sounds connected and corrupt. Here's my personal opinion, right? So let's separate my personal opinion from fact. Now, mind you, I don't know what the truth is behind Cora's sexual orientation. I don't even care. But if your sexual orientation is connected to somebody's incarceration, then I got to investigate. I don't know what that is. But I don't think that 20 random people from 20 different parts of the world, from 20 different, you know, on the timeline, right? Some from 2016, some from 2020, some from 2019, some from 2010. I don't think that these random people who just called this random girl on the internet from random different parts in the timeline of Cora's life would make up something so convoluted when no one has ever discussed Cora's sexual orientation on the internet. Again, I always tell you guys, sexual orientation is not tea. It's not. It's not tea. It's not tea to expose somebody's sexual orientation. But if somebody's sexual orientation and the discovery of it is connected in conjunction with someone's freedom or someone's incarceration, then we have to investigate it. That's just the nature of the beast. You can't get around that. I'm not trying to get around it. I could care less if Cora's a lesbian, allegedly. I could care less about that. I don't know if it's definitively true. I just have a hard time believing that random people across the internet would tell me about Cora's sexual orientation when not one time have I ever investigated it or discussed it. So it was unprovoked, which kind of lays some credence to whether it's true or not. You understand what I mean? So when I say that, I mean when someone says you're having a conversation with your mom or your dad and you're talking about tuna sandwiches and your dad just out of the blue says, I'm going to buy a boat. And I think I saw a really nice one down the harbor. Well, you never known your father to buy a boat. So him just making that off-putting comment makes you want to believe whether it's true or not. So you drive down the street, you go down the harbor, you see that blue boat. You're like, maybe my father's telling the truth. He might buy that boat. That's how I look at those type of anecdotal statements people just made. So all I did was just take all the statements from all the different anonymous tips, filed them, and then I came back to them when I got one more in because I'm like, okay, so now this has to be looked at because why are people just making random statements about Cora's sexual orientation? Is there a connection to this? We don't know. We have to investigate it. Let me get some of your tips. Randall said, the demonic in the dude, not pastor, cried out. I'm not entirely sure if that's I don't know what that means, but okay, Randall. YNV says, so it was really a woman that asked Cora for that. If you don't know what YNV she is talking about, we discussed Cora Jakes doing clubhouses. Cora does clubhouses periodically, and she will discuss relationship stuff. Well, Cora had made a statement that she went on a date with a gentleman a couple of weeks back, and after the third day, he asked her for $50. So this is where this comes from. So if you see YNV talking about that hot $50, it's because Cora said she was on a date with a man, and on the third time hanging out with him, he asked her for $50. So I think she should have gave it to him. I'd like to know who he is. If you're in the crowd, sir, come forward. I'll give you the $50 if you really need it. I just want to know how Cora out here just bumping uglies. Okay. Desiree says, more money, more problems. That's right. Randall says, she ain't Zoe Min. I don't know what that means, Randall, but if you're going to continue to have random convoluted comments, we might have to send you the boot. We might send you the boot. So I will be investigating the nature of the relationship between Cora and Monet. I feel like it's worth an investigation. I would like to know if they're in a relationship and it's like this. Have at it. What I find a little bit more bizarre is that just get to this image. Hold on, let me just get to this image because what I find the most bizarre is I'm just gonna put the image in the front right here. Hold on, you guys. Let me add this because it just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Hold on. This one here. Yeah, the first image here, scene of Monet. So if you can see above her head, there's a little tiny baby, little baby Ruby that she had. What I find the most bizarre is if they're in a sexual relationship, why does she continue to have more kids? Help me understand. Help me understand, right? Is it like that one guy? I forget what his name is, but you guys share his name in the comments. He's the one guy, he was engaged to a woman, then he was engaged to a man, and they had the same wedding day and the same wedding venue, and he got her pregnant, then he left her. I think his name is Clarence. And so he got with her and he left her, and people were like, well, what do you think is going on? I said, I think he's just trying to have babies. I think he's a gay male who might dabble with women here and there, but I think he's just having a low budget. I think in his mind, he is having a low budget surrogacy. So he's just sleeping with women instead of paying the $150,000 for the egg and the sperm and the a surrogate, right? For him and his partner. I think he's just sleeping with women so he can have the baby. That's why he's such a good dad. You know what I mean? And he brags about his being his fatherhood because he loves being a father. People always think, oh, because you're gay, you don't have what's the word? Biological clock. Yeah, you do. Biological clocks are biological. Okay. They're not gender based. If you want children, you want children. So I think, yeah, Messy C. So I think I think what we're witnessing with Cora and Monet sounds like a Messy C situation. Just two lesbians who are just having children because they want children, because they love children. That's why Cora's so intertwined and connected with all of Monet's kids, allegedly, because they secretly just don't want to pay for the in vitro. It's, Monet's the fertile one. Just get pregnant. And then have all the babies you want. Just have all the babies you want. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. That's right. I think Mrs. C just wants babies. That's just my opinion, because nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. I think Messy C gets women pregnant because he wants the babies and he doesn't want to have to pay for the in vitro. He doesn't care about the women. He cares about the tiny children that get birthed. One, they're tiny children, right? Which are adorable. Two, they're his biological children. And three, Messy C sounds like he has a biological clock that's ticking and he just wants to be able to have his children, which he has, right? So he coaxes these women up and, oh, we're going to get married, and then knocks them up and then has the baby. Outstanding father, dumps her for a man, you know what I mean? Which is okay. It's his business, Not Cora being the baby daddy. I think she is. I think that's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion. I think Cora's the baby daddy. Monet's obviously the doting mommy, and she's the one who's giving birth to these children, and Cora's taking care of them. The last I checked, I don't know if Monet has much of an income, allegedly. I don't know what her income is. I think she mostly relies on Cora Jakes to subsidize that, If you ask, that's alleged. So I don't know if that's true or not. It's just... This is from Kamiko. Kamiko says, my ex BFF was opportunity bine. I don't know what that means. She would ugliness to get whatever and continue sleeping with her husband. I hit the like button. Well, thank you, Kamiko. I appreciate that. I hope I'm saying your name right. But you're saying that my BFF was an opportune being. Oh, I see what you mean. She just would do it just as, I got you. Thank you very much. Ciao. She sound messy. Nicole said, smash that like button. Don't make Nicole say it again. Nicole said that. I'll leave that comment up there. He said, Messy C already has 2 kids. That doesn't mean anything, Angela. That means nothing. When you have a biological clock, you have a biological clock. Now, we don't know if Messy C came from a small family or a big family, which is propelling him to have more children. It's his business. But at the same time, though, it can become an ethical issue when women are thinking that they're going to have this everlasting relationship with you, and it turns out you're only having babies with them. This is alleged. This is just my theory, that you're only having babies with them because you have a desire to be a father, which is not fair to them, because if moms want to have babies, they may not have that desire, right? Like Messy C has, until they're married. But Messy C is could be potentially putting in their head, oh, I'm going to marry you, just have my baby. And then he just ditches you, So it's just like, that's kind of crummy. You know what I mean? That's kind of crummy. That's just my personal opinion. This from Francis. Francis says, will Cora be in the ATL this weekend? I'm not entirely sure. I don't track her personal life, so I can't tell you that. But we will be investigating into this story, because now I'm a bit curious. Because if this is what Cora is doing to potentially, I don't know. I can't even give you a supposition, because I have no clue what the supposition would even be. I have absolutely zero idea what it is that Cora is hiding, if she's hiding anything, or if these random tips that came in are just random people venting. But it doesn't seem so. It's one thing to get one tip. It's another thing to get a second tip. But to have almost nearly 20 tips from 20 different people over the course from May until now who shared with me this is unusual. So there has to be something to it. And if it is affecting Brandon's incarceration, then that's also something that has to be investigated, especially Monet, especially Monet, especially her, especially her. Especially her. This was Meeks be chatting. Hey Meeks said, "Girl, did you hear about the guy from Maroon 5? Child, we gonna get to that next. Let's leave this comment up. Let's leave the comment up because let's get to that story next. It's a very interesting story, and I want you guys to get into it because, child, it's messy. And everybody knows if you're Black, you know Black people love Maroon 5. We don't actually know why we like Maroon 5. We just do. We just do. So we're gonna go back to what's her name's page, and we're gonna get right into the story time. The story's still up. I want to catch it before she deletes it because y'all know people love deleting. They absolutely love deleting the tea. She's at 18 million views. I've never watched the video. I want to just get right into it. Okay, so smash that like button on your way in or out. Don't be a bunch of Negroes.
I'm just gonna rip.
Let's go.
I've retaken this like 10 times now. Essentially, I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, you know, I was young, I was naive, and I mean, quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now, so I was definitely very easily manipulated. Maroon 5 is practically elevator music at this point, so I'm sure you know who Adam Levine is. But Adam and I were seeing each other for about a year. After I stopped talking to him over, you know, a period of months, this is how he came back in my life. He said, "Okay, serious question. I'm having another baby, and if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious." I was like, I'm in hell. Like, I have to be in hell at this point. I mean, my morals were unknowingly compromised. I was completely manipulated. I handled this privately. I never wanted to come forward because obviously I know the implications that come with doing what I do, making money the way I do, and being an Instagram model. So being tied to a story like this, it's like, I know the stereotypes. I had sent some screenshots recklessly to a few friends I thought I trusted, and one of them had attempted to sell to a tabloid. So here I am. I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off because I've retaken. I just wanted to make a part 2. I feel like it's obviously necessary. Hindsight is 2020. I initially wanted to go in and talk about how remorseful I feel and how embarrassed and disgusted I am with myself, but I didn't want people to look at it and think like, oh, she's playing the victim. But in reality, it had the opposite effect. Something I now realize I didn't touch on enough was the fact that one of my friends had attempted to sell it, which I realized yesterday whenever they reached out to me for comment. And so I was completely frantic. That is why that video is, for one, just so all over the place, and two, why I didn't touch on some of the things that I initially would have liked. So in this video, I'd like to address some of those things. I only came forward because I wanted to kill whatever story the tabloid had. The most important part that I did definitely gloss over is the fact that I was under the impression that their marriage was over. I believe that they were keeping it quiet to avoid the negative press because, as I had said, I was new to LA. So I just assumed that with celebrities of that caliber, that that's just how it was. And that's why I feel exploited, because he knew I believed everything that he said because of my vulnerable position of being new to LA. Also, he was DMing me straight from his verified Instagram account. I didn't have any reason to further question it. But I now realize that that was likely a manipulation tactic of his, just hiding in plain sight. As soon as I had realized that was not the case, I had cut things off with him. In retrospect, I wish I would have questioned things more. I wish I wasn't so naive, but being naive is not an excuse for what I did in the role I played in this. Again, in no way was I trying to gain sympathy, and I fully realize I'm not the victim in this. I'm not the one who's really getting hurt here. It's Beati and her children, and for that, I'm so, so sorry.
Child. Y'all are so mean. Y'all are so mean. But listen, I don't blame you. I do not blame you one bit. Now, I understand. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Y'all not gonna like it, but we're just gonna play it because I agree with Sumner. I agree with Sumner. Y'all ain't gonna like it. But I agree with this lady. I do. I agree with her. She is definitely the victim here. And y'all know she is. I know how much y'all absolutely hate side pieces and this piece and that piece, but like I agree with Sumner. I do. Steph don't. Listen, hear me out. So you obviously know the dynamic roles that are being played. He's the verified millionaire musician. She's the struggling model. You know what I mean? And he preyed on her. And then I can only have to believe what she says. And he lied to her about his divorce, you know, him being divorced, you know what I mean? And just stringing her along and ipso facto. So that happens all the time in Hollywood. Why are we surprised? Well, stop acting surprised. We know he took advantage of her. He took advantage of his role. He took advantage of his money, his wealth, his power, the same that he did to his wife. I'm sure his wife had sneaking suspicions that he was cheating. And she just simply was just like, no, I'm just gonna go with my gut, and I'm just gonna, you know, whoop de whoop, blase skip, boom boom, you know, I'm gonna believe my husband. I'm gonna stick beside him, as they say. And I think that his wife was probably in the same predicament because people were like, girl, why didn't you leave him? You know? And she's like, well, I don't know. He kept telling me he'd stop cheating. So I just believed him. Just like she's like, he told me that he was getting a divorce. So I believed him. You understand? Like, come on. We're not going to put the blame on her. It's not her. It's Adam. That's who the blame. That's who the blame. That's where the onus is, because it's not like Sumner knew his wife. You know what I mean? And they were going to family outings and events, and she was pushing up on Adam Levine's her friend's husband. She didn't know that woman. She had no reason to know her. She just simply was just a casualty of Adam's lies. Y'all, Steph, don't start. He a thought pocket. He is a thought pocket. Unapologetically, Mimi says, this definitely doesn't surprise me. No, it doesn't surprise me, but I'm not going to put blame on her. Like, no, she's not the blame. She's the literal victim of a lying, cheating, manipulative, very wealthy, very successful, very powerful man. So why are we blaming her? We should be proud that she came forward with the story and that she got ahead of the story and not let the tabloids try to tear her apart, that she used her pretty decent sized platform to share her story. So no, I don't fault her. I fault Adam Levine. So let's keep our focus. That's how men tear us down, because they know that we as women will pick each other apart. Oh, she trifling. She knew he was married. Yeah, but you guys, you ain't never dated a guy who said that he was divorced and he wasn't, or that he's getting divorced, but he's dragging his feet. Come on. We all been there. Stop playing. They're both to blame. No, they're not. Not in my opinion. But I respect that. But they're not both to blame. Adam is to blame. Adam is the one with the power. This is a power dynamic. There's a power dynamic. That's like, for example, right? Like when I was in the thick of political science and I would have to do all these research studies in college, and we would get these stories about these warlords and the people in the village who would follow the warlord and do all these horrible things, right? The think of Hotel Rwanda, think of that film, and people blamed all the kids who with the guns and all of this, and they're like, oh, they're these monsters being brainwashed by these warlords. They're to blame too. No, they're not. They're not in a position to second guess a warlord. Okay, they're just doing what they're doing because he's inundating them with propaganda. Okay, so that's how that dynamic works. So she was inundated with propaganda, which forced her to make unusual decisions, right? Well, he's probably telling the truth, you know, he's probably getting divorced. Okay, you know, you have to think about that. If Adam Levine came to her very straightforward and said, I'm a married man, I'd like to have a good time, do you think she still would have obliged? Probably not. She doesn't seem like the type. So I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm on the side of Sumner. You may not like this take, but it's fine. And it's okay. I can have that. Exactly. Yeah, we're out here blaming the. I forget. It's like the something in the Tootsies. We're not about to be over here blaming the kids. Blame the warlord. Okay, Adam Levine is the warlord in Spanish. Brenda says she should have Googled him after conversations. No, she knew who he was because remember he messaged her on his verified Instagram account. So she already knows who Adam Levine is. Also, she looks like a millennial, so she definitely knows who Adam Levine is. It's just that like, yeah, I'm not gonna blame that power shift on her, right? Definitely not doing that. That seems. But I do want to read Adam Levine. He did put out a statement, so I want to read that statement, and then so that way we can get y'all out of here, so we can get ready for the after show because we're a little late. But let's get to this Adam Levine statement. He did put out a statement, and hold on one second. I'm going to read it to you here. So here's the statement, and I'm just going to read it to you from my phone. Okay, it says, and this is from his Instagram account. Adam Levine says, a lot is being said about me right now, and I want to clear the air. I used poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious manner. I did not have an affair. Nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period in my life. In certain instances, it became inappropriate. I have addressed that and taken proactive steps to remedy this with my family. My wife and my family is all I care about in this world. Ooh, he trifling. To be this naive and stupid enough to risk the only thing that truly matters to me and the greatest mistakes I could have ever made. I will never make it again. I will take full responsibility. We will get through it, and we will get through it together. It's the statement. Hold on, let me move my phone over. You screenshot this and read it to yourself. It's on his Instagram page, but ghetto. I don't believe that for a second. So it's like Simone said, what platform is it on? Instagram. This is from Cocaine says he must have cut the money, honey. He must have cut the money, honey. He should have. I hope she got a check out of this because that's all I'm. Girl, did you get you a check? That's what you should have got with his cheating self. Talking about naming the baby after you, child. Name a baby. Where's cut the check? Hello, Sherelle. How you doing? Cut the check. Oh, name a baby after me. You and that baby. Where the check at? I'm allergic to Karen tears. You guys crack me up. You guys, that's all we have, child. That's all we have. That's the only show we have for you today. We'll be back tomorrow for more of this mashup drama. Smash that like button on your way in or on your way out. Please subscribe. 6% of my audience is not subscribed to this channel. We've already hit 15,000 in subscribers, and that's exciting. Also, too, Brenna Love, I saw that you had a super chat, and I think I missed it, but let me try to scroll and see if I can find it. Because, honey, child, you got to support all the people who give you the super chats. Thank you very much. Brenna Love says, Steph, he yelled at his wife in front of the whole church, and the lady was attacked, responded to that by saying the devil's a liar. Child. Woo, child. Woo, child. That pastor, something else. That pastor's child is something else. All right, you guys, we'll be back for the after show this evening on TikTok. Probably on TikTok or right here on YouTube. We got a lot more stories. I've been gone for 4 days, so you know I'm stockpiled full of stories. Okay, especially the Nosy Hucks and the Nicki Minaj story. Now that we got a little bit more of a robust idea of what's going on, we can actually cut into that story and see who's in the wrong and who's in the right. My personal opinion, I think Nosy Hucks buried herself by saying that she knew for a fact that Nicki Minaj, you know what I mean? Okay. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. You guys have a good evening. I'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll be back for the after show on TikTok at Chief Nosy Bystander. Smash that like button on your way in and on your way out. Don't be a bunch of Negroes. I'll talk to you guys later, okay? Bye-bye.